Boot it up. Give it just a few minutes. Oh, a few seconds, I guess.
I still sleeping.
Yeah, me too.
I read somewhere that it said that when you're close to the person that you're sexually attracted to, you get sleepy. That's a sign of your hormones kicking in and that you want to interact with one another.
So, I like that.
I read that somewhere. In that case,
so you won't break daddy home. Well, hey guys, welcome. My name is Andrew, and this is my beautiful wife,
Rhonda,
and we are 30 to forever. And tonight we're gonna be piggybacking a little bit off and getting kind of an update on last week's show, because last week it was a doozy.
It wasn't that bad.
I don't mean it was bad. I mean it was just a doozy. It was an excellent show. We got a lot of feedback and we had a lot of questions. So we're gonna try to answer a lot of those questions today.
Did you write the questions down somewhere?
You know, I thought we would try to remember some of them off the top of our heads, because a lot of those questions.
Well, I can't remember what I did 30 minutes ago. Talking about
some of the questions we answered during the show.
Yeah.
And some we did afterwards. So,
there was a lot of questions and a lot of it can't be done.
Yeah, and that was shocking to us, that there are a lot of couples out there, or some people in relationships, and they're thinking that there's no hope in their relationships and nothing can be done to fix it.
They have a feeling that a hurt is a hurt, and once that hurt is there, whether you feel like you've forgiven them or not, you can't forgive. And the thing is that there's nothing that can be not be forgiven. Am I saying that right?
Everything can be forgiven.
Right. So if there's something that has been done, I mean, God forgives us. All we got to do is ask.
It's all up to us on the level of forgiveness that we want to allow.
We have to want to forgive. We have to want to forgive. We have to. Babe, I don't think that I'm up on the right page.
You didn't check your one on Instagram?
I did not check to see.
Okay, go run and do that real quick, and I'll keep talking.
Okay, keep talking.
So, but like we were saying, you know, we've go. We had a lot of interaction, and some people, you know, they were like, you know, it can't be done. There's no way, no how, you know, and some even came from you know, how can we say that God was in control of anything? And which he was. So God orchestrated everything between my wife and I, and in our reconciliation. So, and we always say, you know, all you got to do, the proof is in the pudding. All you got to do is just look at our lives and know that a miracle happened, you know. So we want to follow up with some of the stuff and some of the comments that were made from last week's show, because and then give you and we want to tell you guys what's been happening with us following the show, because it has been absolutely phenomenal following that show. Because I don't know if you want to go back and look at the show from last week, and because my wife revealed some things about herself and our marriage that she had never shared before, or even really thought of before, until last week. And it was during the show. It was like a revelation. And when she brought it up, she just said, wow, I didn't really realize that I was doing this. And it honestly, with her admission of how she was feeling, it enhanced our marriage and enhanced our relationship. So, and I'll let her open up to you and talk to you guys about that. What's going on?
It's not gonna go live
On Instagram?
Mm-mm.
Why?
It said that sorry, there's error with the broadcast. So when you pushed live, it did not.
It said checking for connection.
Checking for connection. Sorry, there was an error with your.
Come all the way out and do it again.
Broadcast. Keep talking.
But my wife, she will shed a little more light on that when she comes back. We're having an issue with Instagram right now. Not having an issue with Facebook. so we're just praying that we get that fixed real quick, because we have a lot of people who follow us on Instagram as well, and they look forward to interacting with us on Instagram. So, but how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing amazing, and that your week is going well, and you guys have some awesome interactions, some awesome stories that you can share and tell. If you've been having an awesome week, especially with your spouse or your partner, I have a cousin who lives in North Carolina, and her and her husband, when they can't tune in live, they always chime in on the replay, and they always comment and leave questions and even some answers, and they have been some of our biggest supporters, because they've been married for a while, and they married young, and they have their ups and their downs, but they appreciate what my wife and I bring to the table, because what we bring to the table is not traditional. And
we're not going to be able to go live from Instagram tonight.
Why?
It's not working. It's not working.
Mm.
I'll keep trying though.
So, but my wife is back.
Hi. Instagram don't want us to be great. Okay, so last week we was talking about the healing from infidelities and the things that I had been through in our relationship, and actually thought that I had received full release of everything that we had been through. And unbeknownst to me, some of my anger issues comes from the fact that I haven't. I have had anger issues for a very long time. I still have anger issues. I even, as up to last night, yesterday, my husband's birthday, I wanted it to be great. And my issues just would not let it be great. Because as much as I'm praying about it and I want everything settled, I know that this did not happen overnight, and I know that it is going to take time for the complete healing and that wall to come all the way down. And with that being said, I am still fighting to get past my hangups, to get past all of the hurts, to kick that wall down, because regardless of what anybody else say, we've been back together for 22 years since our separation and our last separation. And we have been growing closer together all this time. And even though some people might think that it is impossible for God to move and to do that kind of work in anyone's life, let me tell you something. There is not one thing that is done under this sun if you pray diligently and you ask our Heavenly Father to help you with, that He cannot do. He can do it all if we pray and we stay focused, we stay on our knees, and we stay honest with Him, and we are honestly going after His heart and telling Him what we want and with our hearts, but praying and knowing that it can be done and working towards getting it done. You can't just go out there and say, okay, I don't want to dislike this person no more, and then every time you see them, look at them like they stink. You have to start working towards removing those things that's making you feel like that person, that you don't like them, that they, whatever, if they stink to you, then just help them take a bath or something. I don't know. But you got to do what you got. I'm just saying, that's just, okay, so that might not be a good analogy of what I'm trying to get to. But the thing is that in our relationship, when my husband say something, and it could be, it don't, okay, so like him going out of the house sometimes, or being around too many people sometimes, and then having to come back around me. Mm-hmm. This was set me off on yesterday. And I'm just like, why? Because with COVID out there and my immune system, and just know. If there's too many people around, just leave. And, he was praying with some people, and he couldn't just leave. He had to do what he had to. He's a pastor. He has to take care of people. Now, when it comes to me, and he came home, and he did like I asked him to. He got undressed in the area of the house that I asked him to, and he went straight to take another shower and clean himself so that I could be ready. But before all that could happen, it's just that my emotions had kicked in, and I just did not know how to draw them back under control. And so to me, I feel like that kind of ruined his birthday, but it actually didn't. He was tired, so he went to sleep. He can use his coupon tonight if he wants to. But the thing is that no matter what it is, and I apologize to him again. And I said, babe, I'm having anger issues. I apologize. It's nothing that he did. It's just in my head. It's like, you should have. And in situations like that, I always feel like it's because I need to be put first all the time. And that's just, come on now. Nobody can be, put first all the time.
I mean,
all the time.
I don't know how to go live on Instagram. I'm sorry. But like she was saying, you're not gonna be first with your spouse all time and always. There are gonna be times where your spouse has to have other obligations as well. I had obligations that I had committed to over a month ago, to go pray with someone before they had surgery, and did it go live? But and my wife got upset about it. So you're live.
I am now live.
And when she got upset about it, it was just one of those things. I just had to bite the bullet because I had committed to it, number one. And because I had committed to it, she
I had to, number one, I did not know that he had committed to this thing. So with me not knowing that he had made a commitment, that he had to, it's hard to get it back up there. With me not knowing that he had committed to going and taking care of this particular situation.
No, you shouldn't have moved it. You would take yourself out of the picture.
That.
If y'all could have seen her face right then.
Because he did not communicate with me in advance that he had made prior commitments on his birthday. And I know, when someone asks you to come and pray with them or whatever, you can't really determine how it's going to go. But to call me at the last minute and tell me that...
I didn't call you at the last minute.
You called me an hour and a half before. It was time for you to get off work, which you said you was going straight from work. And
no, I called you early in the day and I said, well, I got to go pray for this person doing this, when I get off from work. And you said, okay. So
anyway, it was still last minute, and I had an attitude for more than one reason.
No.
So, but then we received so many good comments, and then we received some not so good comments on. But everybody's opinion is your opinion, and the things that you go through in your relationships, the things that you go through in your relationship. You still have to get to some kind of point. If you are having a hard time in your relationship, you have to decide deep down inside you what it is that you really want. See, when our relationship was brought back together, I thought that deep down inside of me, what I really wanted was revenge. I knew I wanted a God-fearing man back in my life. But, now I don't even say back in my life because he was never like a God-fearing man, in my opinion. He was I used to pray, Lord, why is this demon in my house?
Because I wasn't a God-fearing man then.
Right. So, and but that's the whole thing that we came from. So, as we grew, and when I thought that our relationship was being put back together, I knew I wanted the God-fearing man, but I thought, honestly, I was going to get revenge. And revenge at the cost of whatever it cost. My life, his life, our lives. Kids don't know where they was going to be at. Didn't really care at the time. I was just thinking, okay, thank you, Lord. You're going to give me this opportunity to pay this man back. He deserves to hurt the way that I did. But that was not God's plan. And because God was able to take what had turned into a solid rock of my heart and turn it back into a place where love could flow, even if I still have some walls up, love is still leaping over those walls because I love this man. I mean, there's not one person that can look at our relationship and think by looking at us anywhere, even when we're having an argument or what I call a lively discussion. Even if we're having a lively discussion, you cannot look at us and say that they don't love each other. You are always going to think that they love each other and all this. Right. My daughter even said, why y'all doing that? Y'all sound so silly when y'all argue. Who argues like that? And I'm just like, it's a discussion. We don't consider, because we're not finna be screaming and yelling and cussing and doing all that other stuff.
I don't have the time nor the patience or the energy to be yelling and screaming and stuff. So
right, but you have to have. But you have to have. You have to. If you're in a relationship and you're going over a rocky patch, you have to know why it is that you want to be with this person. You have to know that it might not be easy.
Right.
There is going to be work.
You know, when we were talking, I think it might have been yesterday. You know,
we always talking about it now.
You know, we said compromise. A lot of people don't compromise in their relationships. You know, they don't They don't want to compromise. You know, it's their way, and they don't want to budge off of that way. But in every relationship, you have a level of compromise that you have got to go through.
Absolutely.
And I mean, you got to give a little to take a little.
Absolutely.
And it goes both ways. And people don't want to compromise anymore today. They just want what they want and how they want it. And that's it. And most relationships, if you're that way, sooner or later, the person on the short end of the stick is going to get upset, or they're going to feel slighted, and then they're gonna retaliate or do something crazy and ruin the relationship.
Right.
When all you got to do is just take the time to compromise in your relationships.
You have to look at each other's needs and not just think about yourself, because you know, like, okay, so I put a post out on the 32 Forever page on Facebook yesterday because I'm not romantic. I'm not going to even try to fake the funk. I'm not romantic. No. I do not require my husband to do anything that's romantic for me. I require him to do nothing but take care of me like he promised that he would do. All that other frou-frou-y stuff, I enjoy it sometimes if I get it, but most of the time I'll be like, why did you waste money on this? And he was like, can I just do something nice for you? Yes, you can, but because I am one of those people that counts every penny, all I'm thinking about is, well, you know, we could have did something else with this money. And so even though yesterday was his birthday, I didn't try to do anything grand or spectacular. I just wanted to give him a little surprise, and I did. I surprised him a little sweet way. It wasn't no grand gesture, but the thing is that I stopped for a minute and thought this would make him feel special. A little bit more than what I normally do. It's going a little bit beyond what I normally do in order to make him feel special. And so I just went out and set to do that thing on yesterday. And he really enjoyed it. I was surprised.
I said, you didn't have to do this. You know, I was good. See, because, you know, for me, my birthday is just another day for me. You know, I go to work. I do other things. You know, I really don't do any hoopla for my birthday.
Well, we're going camping for your birthday.
Well, that we're gonna do that anyway, but
Yeah, we got to do our camper once a month.
But I really don't make my birthday a big deal, And what she did was she purchased some long stem roses and wrapped them in cellophane and all that.
He thought they were real, but they weren't.
She put them on the dash of my truck at my job, and she put a card in there.
Some balloons.
And some balloons, and got me some chocolate.
Peanut butter brownies.
Yeah, that. And which are delicious. And she said, "Hey, have you been up to your truck?" I said, "No, I didn't." And so I walked up to my truck, and then I looked inside while she was on the phone with me, and I was happy. And then one of the guys was coming back from their lunch break. He said, "Hey, it's your birthday, huh?" But you got to do things to
think about the other person.
To think about the other person. Put them before yourself sometimes. A lot of people don't. See, me personally, I always think about my wife before I think about myself. I think about taking care of her before I take care of myself. And some people aren't taught, or they're not built that way to put someone else's needs before their own. Mothers do it for their children
all the time.
Just because that's what a mother would do. But husbands should always do it for their wives, and wives should always do it for their husbands. It should go both ways. It should be a compromise.
Yes. So when it comes to someone that is trying to heal from a hurt, it does put up an extra little thing, because you always feel like, why are you going above and beyond in order to make this person happy when, that hurt is still there? Because honestly, now, see, this is how my mind works, and it's bad, but I do know how to reel it back in and pray about it to get my mind back on the right track. So when things happen that is out of the ordinary for me, and the thing with him calling me yesterday on his birthday and telling me, and whatever time he said he did it, was one of those triggers for me. It started triggering and bringing up these thoughts in my head. And when those thoughts started triggering in my head, I am that person. I'm going to say something to you about it. Am I accusing you of cheating or anything like that? No, but I'm letting you know, okay, you said this and you did this, so in my head, it started turning. Whether it was turning the right way or the wrong way, I'm letting you know.
It was turning the wrong way.
Of course it was turning the wrong way, but I was just letting you know that it's turning, and my wall is hardening. Even though I'm trying to kick it down, it's like this thing is sitting right there, and I need to get past it. So I still didn't stop. I still continued to pray. I was like, Lord, please help me with this tonight. I want this to be a good night for him. I want him to be able to enjoy this evening too. But God said, okay, go to sleep, Andrew. It made it easier for me to deal with what I was going through the night. I laid there beside him and I prayed, and he don't know. He may have felt it, me stroking his back and stroking his head, and those are things that he enjoyed too, and those are also things that help him to relax and to rest. And did you have a good night's sleep last night?
Yeah. Could have been better.
I couldn't knock you out last night, but I got you tonight. But that was because I was being attentive in a way that would help me be able to continue to pray and to get over my anger issues that I was feeling at the time. But the thing is that no matter what it is, I want to want you. I want to make you feel my passion and my love all the time.
I'm glad you said that, because, this is the reason why we're following up, because last week, I know we kind of left it off, and I know some people, they were thinking my wife could have been the world's worst or something,
Some people have thought that about me, but
and only because they're like, well, she's not being very attentive to her husband, because of this wall that was up that she didn't realize was up when she came to think about it and realized it last week. Now, she has been more affectionate, and like I'm always up front. I'm very affectionate. I like to hug. I like to kiss. I love to touch. That's just me. And I love affection, and I love to be touched. So, my wife, with this so-called well, not so-called, this wall that was up, and
It's still up.
and no,
it's still there. I'm working on it though.
She wasn't very affectionate. No.
I am affectionate. Okay,
No.
so when he says very affectionate, like if we're standing, okay, go ahead.
But now she has been trying, and she's been really doing extremely well over the past week, because you have been kissing and touching and I mean, you've been being very attentive, and it has been phenomenal. It is, and I've you quite honestly, I felt like a king.
And see, when he's saying that, it's because, okay, so I didn't realize it, but after the second time we broke up and when we got back together this last time, I had moved into a place where I don't like to kiss. I don't like to kiss. Don't kiss me. Don't kiss me. And I didn't know where that came from, because before I did like to kiss. And then now it's been, I would kiss, but it wouldn't be nothing that you ain't finna kiss on me every day. You can kiss me on my cheek, and we can do some pop kissing, closed mouth. But I still don't really like I am not that person. I would do open mouth kisses because those are romantic and those get my engine going. But when he's ready for some I'm more prone to do that now. But the thing is,
okay then.
I'm just saying, I as people like to slob each other down, that is just not me. I think it's nasty. So
no, man, let's slob it down.
No, there's a time and a place for everything, and that's not an everyday thing. But then it's bad hygiene too. Ugh. But it is. I don't care what nobody say. Y'all just be nasty out there, like, all over each other all the time. I'm sorry. Okay, I love you. You want some alien? But the thing is that I'm trying.
Right.
I'm trying, and okay. So if you decide that I have been hurt, I got to let this go for me, so that I can be in a better place.
Right.
For me. You have to let it go for yourself so that you can be in a better place for you, for him. If that makes sense. Or her. If you keep holding on to things that triggers anger in you, no matter what relationship you get in, you're going to always see those things.
You got to always deal with the hurt.
You're going to, and once you deal with it, and this is a thing. We deal with this and we have dealt with it, but there's just something else that I thought was dealt with, but it never was. So me and him, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it every day until it's just like, why are we even talking about that again? It's not that, oh, you cheated on me, you hurt me, why you do this, I saw you talking on the phone to somebody, your phone was going off all hours of the night, and you could have been talking. I don't go there. It's just those things that he said, things that came out, and he would never say anything like that to me now. The harshest thing that he tell me now is, he tried to tell me that I get on his nerve, but
because you do.
Impossible.
Because you do.
But that would honestly be the harshest thing that I can think of at this time.
And I just don't fly to say, you get. I don't say it in a mean way.
Now both of us, we be like, oh, you get on my nerves so bad.
Right.
And that's
normal life between
people.
Because you got two people with different views on things, and you're raised differently, so you're not gonna agree upon everything all the time. So it's easy to say, man, you get on my nerves,
right?
But there's nothing behind it, and there's nothing that goes along with it.
It's not really like we really get on each other's nerves.
No.
It's just like, okay, sit down somewhere. But with that being said, too, when we're having arguments or disagreements, we don't shoot to hurt.
No.
You don't shoot that shot that you know is going to hurt the other person. You don't talk below the belt. You don't You don't bring up things that they have confided in you in the past that you're supposed to hold and never release it again.
Right.
You don't do things that body shaming and it look shame, anything that's gonna bring them shame and hurt. These are things you don't do. You don't call them out their name. I know people that do that on a regular basis, but that's just not something that you do. Between us, that was one of the things that he has never, no matter where we were in our relationship, he's never. Now he didn't tell me that I act like, but he has never just straight up. And I was ready to fight him for that, but he's never just straight up said that, called me out my name. But he has told me that I act like. But
that was a long time.
It was a long. It was. Oh, that was about at least 30 years ago. Well, not even 30. It wasn't 30. It was about maybe like 28 years ago.
Yeah,
it was a long time ago. It was one of them times when we was leading up to a separation. But he still wasn't shooting below. He didn't shoot. And then it was that the other thing that you do too is when you know something that will really hurt a person in your actions, you don't do that either. If you know that a particular thing that you do hurts a person, you don't go there. You just don't. Because
right, you do your best not to go there because
think of these words that is coming out of your mouth as bricks, and you know I'm telling you that I have a partial wall. So if you think of each time you call your husband out his name, because women, ladies, I've heard some ugly stuff that ladies call their husbands. Now you take each one of those bricks and they start building this wall. And this wall is getting higher and higher. Each time you call them out, each time you say that you no good, you just do anything or say anything that is very demeaning to them and that is meant to tear them down. While you are tearing them down, they are building up a wall. Because those things hurt. And they are going to have a wall up to prevent you from getting any more of your darts through. And then if y'all ever split up, it's just making it harder for the next person to get through to them. But it's also making it very hard for you to be able to fix the mess that you made.
Because once those walls go up, they're hard to come back down.
Because you don't forget what has been said to you. You don't forget if a hand has been laid on you, and you don't forget what has been said to you. Now, if he want to talk about some walls, he could probably think about some times where old girl came out swinging. And that could have put up a wall. But I didn't just beat you up or anything, but I did swing on you a couple of times. But these are things that
everything that we went through, a lot of it was warranted because of my actions. So
I would not say me putting my hands on you is ever warranted, but
no.
Okay.
But I was a piece of work. I think we got somebody on. No, that's not who I thought it was.
Go ahead.
I thought it was somebody else. I lost my train of thought because I was going to say it was somebody who I thought that was. I would say the way that couple was, who I thought it was. Their marriage, when you're looking at them, I think I see us, in their marriage as well. Because they,
I see people all the time when they are doing these Facebook posts and they are taking pictures off of other people's page and they are talking about relationship goals. Relationship goals. The only goal that I have is to just
nobody else's relationship.
No, you can't because you don't know what they went through.
No.
And then when you see these pictures posted, no matter where they're posted, they always take the best moments and post them.
I know you guys see pictures that we might post together sometimes, and yes, we're smiling, yes, we're doing this, and there have been pictures that we've taken. And we were just in a discussion that was kind of heated, and then you would see, you could tell by the look on our face that the conversation, that we weren't very happy with each other at the time. But like I said, you guys get
the side, I think, right?
You get us raw and uncensored. We don't hold anything back, and we don't fake the phone. When because it was. I wish we was having a discussion about a month or two ago, and you said you need to record this so people can just see us like this, and I'm like, I just to try. It felt unnatural
to pick up the camera and
record us while we were
in the middle of doing something. And it was probably something really, really silly.
No, it wasn't silly. We were in
a heated discussion.
Yes.
What did you do?
Why did I have to do something?
Because I don't do nothing.
Why?
It's always something that you do that gets under my skin and makes me start acting out. Yup. And then I just be like, but
why do you deceive yourself?
The fact of the matter is that when we get into some of the things that we argue about, you be like, really? And that's the argument? And it is for us. It's a disagreement. A lot of people,
they get into that. The same thing can apply to any relationship. You're like, well, y'all really just arguing over that. It ain't that serious. But to them, it's serious.
But when people look at us and we're arguing, just like Leandra said once, that our arguments of sometimes, she could say that they're funny, but sometimes it just be for real. I'd be like, okay, he's really on my nerve. And the only time that I would say that we would have an argument or a discussion is that, and I feel like I need a break. And sometimes you do need to just go somewhere and sit in the corner by yourself and get through your thoughts before you come out talking. And a lot of people don't do that. They don't stop and think.
I always pause and think before I say something.
But see, that get on my nerve the way you do
it. But
it's
better that I do that
goodness, because the way you do it, though,
because I will say something that I can't take back, and that's why I pause and I think.
Well, it's good that you have learned to do that, because in the past, if you thought about it, you would just go ahead and let some of the stuff.
Yeah, I just let it fly. Don't care, didn't care, and if it hurt, whatever, get over it. I said it. And I'm glad I'm not like that now. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I'm not like that now. But I had to teach myself not to be that way, and to honestly think about what the discussion that we're having and what I'm going to say in response, because the last thing you want to do is to escalate the situation that you're in with something that you didn't think about before you said it, because well, I'm just gonna let it fly, and wherever it stick, you stick. No, it shouldn't be that way, because if you do that and if you feel that way, you're setting your relationship up for failure, because you're gonna tick your spouse off.
Absolutely.
And that you might not be able to bring it back.
So the best thing that I can always tell you to do, number one, is know the desires of your heart and pray earnestly for them and work earnestly for those desires. If you do it with your careers and you do it with things that you want to earn that is materialistic, you still need to do the same thing for the things of your heart and the relationships that you are in.
Right.
And that's relationships with friends, family, especially relationships with your spouse. If that is something that you really, really want to work, you have to know.
You gotta want it.
And you gotta know why you want that relationship to work. And then you have to be willing to put in the work. And again, I'm gonna tell you, it is not always easy, because when we first got back together, and some of the things that he had to go through me, like blowing smoke in his face, just like, I think I may have slapped you a couple of times when we was driving and slapping, and it was just ugly. I had so much ugly hurt in my heart, and it was only by the grace of God that when we were driving with my children in the back seat and I swung and slapped him or blowing cigarette smoke in his face, just to be ugly, just to be nasty, that we didn't get in an accident, and we are all here and okay.
And
but the thing, and he didn't choke me. Whatever. And I was gonna repeat that. But the thing is that I knew in my heart that I still had love for him. I also knew that I wanted and I needed a godly man, and I wanted it to be him, even though I wanted to pay him back. But I wanted it to be him because all I could think was, if you did not bring him back for me to pay him back, then could this possibly be the godly man that I asked for? Could this possibly be everything that I've been praying for? And if it is, work on me, because I need this, and I knew what I needed, why I needed it, and how to go about getting it.
And what you put into your marriage, you will get it back. You will get it back out.
Absolutely.
But if you putting out garbage in your marriage, then you're gonna get back garbage.
Yep.
And and a lot of people think that well, I cook, I clean, I do this, I do that, blah blah blah. Yeah, you're supposed to do those things, but it's the other things that help build your relationship. Because you gotta clean, you gotta cook, you gotta do all that stuff.
Somebody gotta clean and cook.
But I'm just saying, I'm not saying one particular person.
I know, baby. I'm just.
But what I'm saying is, but it's the other stuff.
It is.
It's the small things that allow your relationship to grow and allow you to pour into one another. She and I, we're like two peas in a pod. It don't take much to please either one of us, and we're very simplistic about things that we simplistic. Thank you.
Simplistic.
And about things that we do, and and because we're that way, it's very easy for her to please me and for me to please her. But some people,
I gotta get my hair done, my nails done, my toes done.
And
I
see,
gotta
if
get
that's
a brand new car,
guys. If that's your girl, like my wife just sitting up there saying,
let me get me
just
some
say,
sneakers
well, hey,
and
before you go, babe, let me wash your hair for you.
Who?
I'm just saying, what did you say? Hey, babe, let me wash your hair for you.
I don't want to let no man touch their hair.
Why?
Especially their husband. Are you a cosmetologist?
To wash their hair with some soap and some water.
Yeah, but then if my hair's straight, you're not fixing to do that because you can't straighten it.
You gonna go get it done? I just said go wash it.
Oh, just get in the shower and just.
I used to brush your hair back and then wash your hair.
Nope.
Or I'm sorry, my wife, she's a piece of work sometimes, but. I mean, but it's just the act of your husband getting into your scalp and touching you and not just washing your hair, but just touching your scalp and touching you. And see, when you do it, quit. See, when you do that, it builds emotions. And it sets a mood and it sets a stage. And it opens up a door for intimacy, not just sex, but just intimacy between you and your spouse. And it's small things like that you can do that will allow your relationship to blossom and to grow. And then, like my wife was saying, she was rubbing my head and rubbing my back, which those are things that I like. It's not.
You ain't know I was doing it though.
But I'm just saying, I slept like a baby.
You did.
So, small things.
It is.
It's find the small things that your spouse likes that you can do to please them. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. And then like we were saying, what you put in
is what you'll get out.
You'll get it out. And if you don't put anything in, you're not gonna get anything out.
So still, again, all I want you to do is just think about. Because when we had the comment that it can't be done,
the first thing I said was it can be done because you're looking at us.
All things. We've been together for so long. We've been through some stuff. We've really been through some stuff. And where we saw relationships when my husband came back from Desert Storm, when he got out of the military. When we got out of the military, I saw a lot of our friends around us, their relationships ended. And ours was on the verge of ending. But God. And the fact that, I know that without God, we wouldn't be here. I do know that for a fact. I do know that for a fact. I knew how to pray, and I knew what I wanted, and I knew what I was praying for. Did I expect God to put us back together? I didn't ask specifically for him but I asked specifically for him.
Godly man.
And that's what I got. So you have to know what you want. And at first I thought that I was working for one thing, and God showed me that I was working for something else. And I'm okay with that, because where we are right now, I'm still healthy. So I can still continue to work. I can still put in the work, and I can still pray. And that's what when you're looking at your spouse or the person that's getting on your nerve all the time, pray for them and work. Yeah. That's the only thing I can tell you to do. Because if you don't, and you let a wedge come in between you, then...
And everybody, they're always looking for instant gratification.
And
sometimes it's not instant.
A lot of times it's not instant.
Because when you were praying for me, how many years did it take before those prayers were answered?
I mean, when you showed up, again, that was almost instant when you showed up.
No, I'm talking about
for me to realize that God was working in that, and that I was forgiving you, and that I knew that our marriage was going to be
2, 3, 4 years.
5 years, baby.
Wow. See, 5 years.
And the thing is, though, it's still a work in progress. When if you think about anything that I'm dealing with or anything that you deal with, it's still a work in progress. We still have to do the work. But if people look at you and you we both do how much we love each other all the time. We tell each other how much we love each other all the time. And it's very important. You do not take that for granted. And I was looking on the news today, and they was talking about how many people how much domestic violence is going on out there, and how many people are looking for divorces because they're around each other all the time now, and it's just opening doors for more emotions to come out. Y'all might think that we're strange, but we thrive being together.
I love being with my wife.
We love the time that we get to spend together all the time. We actually worked. When we met, we was working at McDonald's together. We worked together, and after I left Rest Care, I worked with you. I shouldn't have said the name of the company. But after I finished my office job, I worked at a company with my husband for like 2 years. So, and we got along, even with men coming in there and saying stuff.
And I had to go out and threaten them.
No, you did.
Yes, I did.
Anyway, but even with things like that, with us working together, we work together, and we love being together. And so I'm going to ask him, don't you get tired of seeing your wife? You get up in the morning, you see her. You go to work, you see her. You go home, you see her. Nope. 24 hours, 7 days a week. Yes, nope. He absolutely loves it. If he need a break, he'll go to the bathroom.
Oh, I go outside.
Oh, outside and work in the yard. And I might follow him, but most of the time I won't.
She ain't go out and work in the yard. You know, she used to would.
You don't even let me. You be like, your knees, baby. Your legs.
There you go.
Sit down.
I gotta look out for your health, man. Absolutely. Make sure you're okay.
You love me.
Yep. But we're way over, man. We're 45 minutes in.
It's time for us to go.
Yeah. But guys, listen. Put in the work. Compromise. And remember, whatever you put in, you'll get out. You'll get it back out. But just know, if you're looking for instant gratification in your marriages and your relationships,
most of the time it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen most of the time.
And please keep the lines of communication open.
Always.
And if one of you, one other say that you're not understanding what the other person is saying, slow down, think about what you're saying, and express that in a way that may be more not hitting their ears a better way, but so that they will understand what you're saying, so that there won't be a misunderstanding and issues can come up.
Right.
You have to communicate in a way that both people are being heard.
Exactly. Can we leave it right there?
We can leave it right there.
All right, guys. Well, you guys be good. We appreciate you guys. We love y'all. We will see y'all again later. My name is Andrew.
And I am Ron.
And we are 30 Till Forever. You guys have a wonderful evening. We will see you next Tuesday. Next Tuesday. Oh, now I thought we were going to be camping. We were going to be able to go live while we was at the campsite. Never mind.
No, we won't be camping.
But anyway,
listen, have a great Tuesday. Valentine's Day with your spouse.
Amen.
Enjoy each other. Love on each other. Continue to take care of each other. And come on. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, guys.